Yes, people, welcome back to the Kop TV on the radar time. I've got two names for you, Mark Guehi and Hugo Ekitike, and Harvey Elliott and Darwin Núñez. I normally give you two, but there's four. Smash that like button, get your comments into the following that we'll be speaking about today, and subscribe to the Kop TV. It's a good time. We're off to Hong Kong in 3 weeks. We're going to be interviewing the players and the manager. So make sure you are part of us. You're inside the circle and you're a Kop TV subscriber, the Kop TV subscriber. I actually hate it when people say Kop TV. It's the Kop TV. And I say it myself sometimes. So the Kop TV is going to Hong Kong. Let us know if you're out there. I think the Anfield Wrap are going. I'm pretty sure the Red Men are going as well. So we'll have a good time. We're going to the press conferences, the training, the game against AC Milan. I cannot wait. So if there's any Hong Kongers in the chat right now, recommendations, places to eat, places to drink, places to play paddle, places to have a little game of five-a-side, anything, just let me know, right? But let's get into this one, because this morning, Dave Okop, who, I can't lie, he's not the most trusted tier journalist, but it isn't just him that are claiming that Liverpool and Mark Guehi have reached an agreement on personal terms ahead of his proposed move to Liverpool. That doesn't really surprise me. And actually, in this day and age now, very, very different to when I grew up. You'd kind of open up Match Magazine and bang, you've got the player who's holding up the shirt. But these days, it almost seems like the personal terms are agreed before the actual fee is agreed. Now, obviously, Liverpool have been speaking to Mark Guehi and his representatives. They truly believe that he is the man to come in and not really replace Jarrell Quansah, but obviously be another option. I think that's fairer to say. Another option for Liverpool's defence. Now, yeah, they've been speaking, they've been agreeing personal terms, but I wouldn't get too excited. This one is still going to take some time, and you know, Liverpool have to be patient on this, because yes, the personal terms are agreed. How much do you want? We'll give you that. Sweet, sweet. Everyone shook hands on that, I assume. But the thing that needs to be agreed the most is the fee with the football club, between Liverpool and Palace. So don't forget, if Mark Guehi comes to Liverpool, his first competitive game for the Reds will be against his old team in Crystal Palace at Wembley in the Community Shield on August the 10th, which I'll be at. Really looking forward to that. But I'll click on the article. I'll read it to you. I mean, I, once again, take this with a pinch of salt, but it was DaveOkop.com who exclusively revealed that Liverpool have now reached terms with the Crystal Palace captain and defender and recent FA Cup winner. Let me just read you this. For Liverpool, acquiring Guehi would not only help fill the void left by Quansah, but also elevate the overall quality of the squad. The 24-year-old has agreed wages and contract length. We're hearing it's 5 years. But now the Reds have to strike an agreement with Crystal Palace. I am absolutely sweating, by the way. Look at that sweat coming off my arm and my face. Because honestly, it's very, 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 very warm in here. But anyway, the 24-year-old seems to have agreed his wages. I assume that would be around 100 and something, maybe 120. I think he's obviously going to get a pay rise from Palace, but their negotiation position is complicated because Chelsea have a 20% sell-on clause, right? Inserted in his £18 million move from Stamford Bridge to Selhurst Park in 2021. They're also on the brink of bringing in Ousmane Diamonde, the centre-back as well. Palace are. So, you know, we've got to make sure that gets sorted. We've got to understand Palace's position in this. And, you know, also understand that they're not going to want to just roll over and give us the player on our terms. They've obviously got a big transfer clause sell-on for Chelsea, so they're not looking to really just accept any old fee. And Liverpool, I think, would be prepared to pay 40 to 45. So I think this one, even though allegedly, and it isn't just Dave Okop, it's also, let me just get the journalist up here, because it's very important to credit your sources. But it was also Nico Schira, who is a journalist in, I think it's Spain. I'm pretty sure he's got 370,000 followers. But yeah, he said that according to him, Liverpool have reached an agreement on a 5-year contract with Mark Guehi. So it does look like this is going to happen. It does look like this one will get over the line. And we now know that the centre-back is also pushing for the move as well. So let's see how this one ends up. I can't see this one happening anytime soon. I do think it would be great if Liverpool could get this done before pre-season, before we go away to Hong Kong in 3 weeks. Don't forget there is also a pre-season friendly against Preston, I think on the 13th. So let's hope that that one can be agreed. I think Liverpool, again, clearly very, very favourable to the player. And it seems like he's agreed the move. So let's just see how this one ends. Big fee still to come on that one. The next name that I have for you is Hugo Ekitike, and it comes off the back of Fabrizio Romano speaking on YouTube. He said Liverpool are still working on this deal. They are discussing the possibility of adding Hugo Ekitike to their squad. The idea of Liverpool is to have one more striker. Obviously, we need to understand what happens with Darwin Núñez and Napoli. We're hearing that a fee just cannot be agreed between the two clubs. That one's now looking a bit unlikely to happen. I heard that AC Milan is still interested. I heard that obviously the Saudis will always still probably be interested in Darwin Núñez. But the idea of Liverpool is to have one more striker. They're waiting to understand what happens with Darwin Núñez, with ongoing conversations with Napoli. But Liverpool can add a new striker, and Hugo Ekitike remains a name on the list for the club. But of course, this is not a deal happening today or tomorrow, so we need to be patient. But Ekitike is a name on the list for Liverpool. And I think when you understand Newcastle and Alexander Isak's situation, I reckon this is the first domino to fall after that decision, whether he signs the new deal or he looks to leave. He allegedly was in a restaurant in Dubrovnik, I think, in Croatia, and a waiter said to him, "Are you going to move to Liverpool?" And Alexander Isak said, "Don't ask me things like that," because he doesn't want to get misquoted, and that's probably the right thing to say. And let's not forget, he's absolutely adored by the Newcastle fans. And if you ask me right now to pick a player between Ekitike and Isak to come in as Liverpool's new number 9, I think based on just reality and timing and the price, I think that Hugo Ekitike is probably more likely to come to Liverpool than Alex Isak, who is now under a little bit of pressure from Newcastle. They're saying to him, look, you know, we know your head is going to get turned by the Liverpool offer. So, and if you're Alexander Isak's side, you're his agent, you're saying, well, let's get them to sign a big new fresh contract with a big pay upgrade to scare away the rest of the teams, and Liverpool are probably quite prepared to pay the money, but also they're not going to be messed around. And they also view Hugo Ekitike as almost the next Alexander Isak as well. So where does this one end? I don't know. I think if Liverpool are going to get a striker this season, the most likely is probably Hugo Ekitike. So I would go for him as the new Liverpool player to come in. Around about £80 million is what Frankfurt want. And also Liverpool target Malik Fofana has just agreed a deal with Nottingham Forest as well, by the way. But we're hearing, according to Graham Bailey, that the deal for Isak could be believed to be achieved with a £120 to £130 million price tag. And Graham Bailey was right about Newcastle being interested in Elliott as well, which is the next name that gets brought up. And on the Harvey Elliott deal, I think obviously the value has increased since the Euro under-21s. So I would go with a 50 million plus buyback clause or a 60 million upfront fee. I think that's the kind of numbers that we're talking about when it comes to to Harvey Elliott, who has obviously the same initials as Hugo Ekitike. So let's just see how this one ends. I mean, Newcastle allegedly interested. Could that be used as a make weight to actually go and get Isak? I just think Liverpool are looking at this deal and thinking, what else can we offer them? Then it is worth it. But if it is 130 up front when you can get Ekitike, I don't know. Let me know, actually. All right, this is a very important question. Isak is the one we all want. But I'm talking about realism, because Liverpool will jump the hurdle. We will pull the trigger. We will make a move on a striker very soon. So let's see who it is. Will it be Hugo Ekitike, or will it be Alex Isak, or someone else that we've never even heard of? But Harvey Elliott, how much should he be worth? 50 plus 10 with a buyback, or just 60? Hugo Ekitike, Liverpool have to be patient with this one. And again, there's a lot of moving parts within Europe at the minute, so we need to just see how the Isak one works first, to see how that domino effect trails on to Ekitike. And Mark Guehi allegedly agrees a 5-year deal and his wages. But again, you've got to be patient on that one as well, because Palace, with that with that sell-on clause for Chelsea, they're going to want to push that fee to be as high as possible. But they will also risk just allowing him to leave next summer for free if they don't play ball or don't initially agree that fee. So, that's on the radar. This is the Kop TV. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care. All the best.